Hey everyone, this is Spoony Bard, and given the overwhelming response to my last video regarding dollar store comic books, I thought I'd show you guys some of the collection that I've accumulated over the last year and a half or so. Now, there's quite a large number of books, so I've decided to group it into categories. I'm going to be talking about Superman in the first video just because he's my favorite character. And I will probably be doing another couple videos showing off more of the books. But let's get started anyways. And regarding the pricing on these, now, if you go by the cover price, it would have been $517 Canadian worth of books here, or $422 American for the books. And those numbers are before taxes. But I paid $3 to $4 per book. I round up and say $4, but if you consider the price of a single issue, that's how much I paid for the whole collection. So it's, even if the story is not great, it's going to be a decent deal. So first book I've got here, Superman vs. Zod. It's a collection of stories featuring Zod. It has like his first appearance from the 60s. I think it has the first appearance in the late 2000s when Jeff Johns and Richard Donner were sort of reintroducing some of that lore. It does not feature the early 2000s Pocolistan Zod, which I know wasn't popular, but I liked it. Okay, so next book I've got here is Superman Justice League America, Volume 1. After Crisis on Infinite Earths, when they rebooted the Justice League, and then later Justice League Europe International, whatever, they did set up a team with a lot of lesser knowns. Like, they're pretty popular now. Blue Beetle, Booster Gold, Guy Gardner. But at the time, they were kind of jokey characters, especially the way it was written. So this is kind of the era when, in the mid-90s, when the big guns started to join the team, like Superman, and I believe this happened right before Superman was killed by Doomsday, and I believe afterwards, or maybe it's the international version, Wonder Woman also ends up joining the Justice League. Okay, so next one I've got is New 52, Superman, Volume 1, George Perez, writing and drawing, and then Nicholas Scott also drawing. The issue I had with this is that I basically stopped DC when the New 52 started because I read the Justice League. I read the first of Grant Morrison's Action Comics trades, and I didn't like what they're doing with the characters, the weird time scale. I didn't like the Superman armor design. I prefer the briefs. I'm going to be honest about that. And it just, everything turned me off of DC at the time. So getting caught up now. Looking forward to reading this, even though I did hear that Perez had issues with the, they didn't tell him some of the details about Morrison's arc, which was kind of set in the past, so I don't know if it contradicted anything, or I guess I'll find out. Okay, so next up, Superman, Men of Tomorrow. I believe this is the first arc with John Romita Jr. coming over to DC after many years at Marvel. Co-written by Jeff Johns. He's usually a good writer. I don't like his work on the Superman stuff in particular, but, you know, I guess we'll see if this is any good. Next up, Superman Volume 1. I don't know why they started renumbering the volumes. I guess because this, what's his name? Gene Luen Yang took over. But the numbering, it keeps going from before So now I'm getting into some of I know Batman's the main character, whatever, but I consider these to be Superman books. And it's Batman, Superman, Volume 3, Second Chance, softcover, written by Greg Pak. I loved his work on the Hulk at Marvel, so, I expect this to be pretty good. I've got the hardcover for Batman, Superman, Volume 5, Truth Hurts. I haven't read the stuff yet, but as I understand it, something happens to Batman and he gets replaced by Commissioner Gordon in armor suit. So it'd be cool to see the dynamic between these two having to partner up. And then finally, what I believe is the last volume in the Greg Pak Batman Superman series here, Volume 6, Universe's Finest. I'm guessing it ties up all this stuff from his previous trades. So it'll be interesting to kind of see where that goes, or where it ends up, I should say. Another book I'm counting as a Superman book, Superman Wonder Woman. This is Volume 3, Casualties of War. I don't know much about the relationship between Superman and Wonder Woman. I prefer him with Lois, but as I understand it, this was an interesting series just because it was sort of a realization of a what if these two characters got together. And that said, I also have Superman Wonder Woman Volume 4, Dark Truth. Now, same artist and writer, sorry, as the last one, Peter Tomasi and Doug Mahnke. Peter Tomasi, really great writer. Loved his Green Lantern work. Doug Mahnke, I don't know, Justice League Elite, if you can remember that. So many other things. Just a great artist. I love the detail he puts in. Okay, so now we're getting into the Action Comics. This is all New 52 stuff. We've got Volume 2 Bulletproof. Now this was from the Grant Morrison run. As I mentioned, I did read Volume 1 of this, and it turned me off the New 52, but this is a cheap way for me to get caught up, because not only do I have Volume 2, but I also have Volume 3, the final volume of the Grant Morrison run on Action. Volume 3, The End of Days. So now I can go back and read the whole thing, and maybe it'll make a little more sense, or maybe I'll at least enjoy it a little bit more. Next up, I've got the arc immediately following Grant Morrison, and that is Volume 4 Hybrid by Andy Diggle. I don't know what the issue is with this one. I heard maybe following up on Morrison, there were some issues and stuff like that, or there were some issues with Diggle, because I've got here Action Comics Volume 6, Super Doom, and you can see Greg Pak has taken over writing the series from this one. So I couldn't tell you much about that just yet. Next up, Volume 7, Under the Skin. Still Greg Pak is the writer on this one. Volume 8, Superman Action Comics, Truth. Again, Greg Pak. So this guy's had a pretty lengthy run on both the Action Comics and the Superman Batman. So I expect him pretty good grip of the character at this point. And yeah, I think he can write good action. Then Road to Rebirth, Superman, The Final Days of Superman. Now I know this is where they kind of wrap up a lot of the series, the New 52 Superman, the New 52 Action Comics, and I believe the New 52 Superman Wonder Woman. I know a little bit about this story, and it makes me happy to know that the pre-Flashpoint Superman was still out there somewhere. So I look forward to reading all the other stuff and then, obviously getting caught up. And then we're jumping into something slightly more contemporary. Got this hardcover, DC Universe Rebirth of Superman Reborn. Now, I know very little about Rebirth, aside from the attempt that they're basically were trying to erase a lot of the Flashpoint stuff because it was terrible, and mostly. And I think it probably their sales dropped. So they went back to doing what they do best. And hopefully it'll be entertaining. Also in the DC Rebirth, I've got Superwoman, Volume 1, Who Killed Superwoman? Yeah, I don't know much about this storyline at all. Phil Jimenez is writing, so, it could be decent. And then the last book in the collection is Adventures of Superman Volume 3. Now, Adventures of Superman originally, like in the 90s, it was the third title. You had Superman in Action Comics. You had a book just called Superman, and then you had a book called Adventures of Superman. This Adventures of Superman series kind of features classic writers and artists doing different takes on Superman from over the decades, so they're not tied to any continuity. On the cover here, you can see like the 90s era, the mullet. You can see one of the more original designs from like the 40s. I don't know if that's supposed to be the Kurt Swan Superman on the end there, but there's a lot of high-profile writers and artists on this. You can see you've got Peter Milligan. Sorry for my shakiness. Peter Milligan, who did Ecstatics for Marvel. He did Justice League Dark, Shade the Changing Man for Vertigo. Max Landis, who there's some controversy of, son of famous director Jonathan Landis. And by all accounts, this guy's a real creep. A lot of women coming forward with some nasty stories about him. I won't go into, but you could probably look that up. Fabian Nicieza, however you pronounce that guy's name. I think I knew at one point. So much good stuff at Marvel. As I recall, he's kind of like a cleanup guy that'll come and take over a book just to kind of get things back on track. Ron Mars, what is his name? Kyle Rayner, Green Lantern. Jerry Ordway does a lot of stuff, a lot of the Superman stuff, especially post Crisis Infinite Earths. You got Steve Niles there, who did the 30 Days a Night with artist Ben Templesmith. Gabriel Rodriguez, don't know. Jock, Green Arrow, Year One. So many good stories. Phil Hester, I liked his work on Green Arrow, the early 2000s series. Evan Doc Shaner, I don't think I've read anything by him, but I have seen stills of his artwork. Unfortunately, it was for a Tom King book, but it did look good. I do like his style. Ming Doyle sounds familiar. Don't know, though. Al Gordon, same thing. Steve Rude, legend. Him and Mike Barron, Nexus. Really solid artist. So this is a volume that should be entertaining to read. I definitely want to see the Max Landis story because, like I said, there's been a lot of negative press about him to the point where I think it kind of cost him his career in the entertainment industry in the post-Me Too era. So anyways, that's my collection. Like I said, this is just the first volume or the first video of what'll probably be 3, maybe even 4-part going over my collection, because I think I've got somewhere like 80 books or more that I've accumulated over all this time. And yeah, if you like the video, let me know. I appreciate all that stuff. If you've read any of this, I'd like to hear your thoughts. And otherwise, thanks for watching, and I hope you have a good day.